Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me on Their Fight Story. We have William Nightmare Knight with us today. William, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. Yourself?
I'm doing great, thank you. So you just had a fight this Saturday.
Yeah.
What you did take this fight on short notice. What was your game plan when you started focusing on the fight and you took the fight?
Uh, I mean, I was asking, like, I had talked to my coach and Tyson. I was like, man, I hope if I fight, I want to fight in April and like March, April. And then an opportunity came aboard, and it's like, damn, what do I do? And I know, like, at times I don't like rejecting fights, but at the same time, I'm new to the UFC, so I don't want to look like a person that's picking and choosing fights. So if you know me during the local scene, amateur and pro, I'll take a fight anytime, anywhere. So I said yes. And in the process of doing so, I believe my scale was off when I just found out because I had to redial it today and found out that it was off by 4 pounds.
Mm,
So when I took the fight, I was supposedly 240. And then it gave me a little less than 2 weeks to at least lose weight and then cut the rest in water, do the load and the process of how it's done. And I apparently doing so, my body was in like shock and my body stopped giving off water because I didn't rest my body. So before that in December, I got really sick and it wasn't COVID. I had pneumonia and like fluids on my lungs. I was really sick. So like after the fight for 3 weeks, I was practically fucked. So then January comes around and I'm like, all right, everything's starting to
mhm.
come back into play. About the second or third week of January, I'm back in the gym. I'm trying to get my groove going, hitting pads, doing a little grappling, starting to get my functional workouts, things like that. And I get the call at the end of January, I believe, and nothing got confirmed till like in the middle of the first week of February, around the third or the fourth, one of them. But yeah, I took the fight because I don't know, I felt not pressured, but pressured in a way. You know, you're a new employer and they call you up. They expect you to be ready at all times. And I thought I really could cut that weight. And I was doing a phenomenal job. And then my body just stopped giving off sweat. My coach, my team that was there, they can tell you. I woke up at 3 in the morning, I believe, 3 in the morning and tried 3 or 4 in the morning. I think it was 4 in the morning. I woke up and I tried to cut weight. And from that all the way to weigh-ins, my body just wasn't sweating.
Yeah, I did see the pictures that you were posting of you sweating and all that. Because you've always been on point with it.
Yeah.
Is there something that you did differently? I mean, other than taking a fight on short notice, maybe that you would have done differently with your weight cut?
I mean, the week before the fight week, I should have rested. Apparently my body went into shock. It didn't know what was going on. And then I just instantly started dieting and exercising and doing triple cardio. I was running an hour, an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, and an hour in the nighttime. I was literally doing cardio those 3 times a day, five for every day of the week until I left. So I was really busting my ass and grinding.
Mhm. Now, many people have commented that saying that maybe you didn't even try to cut weight. Maybe you just, and it is what it is. People like to give their comments. What would you like to say to them? Because we know who you are, we know how you work hard and you're dedicated and you do your best to follow through with what you
Mm-mm.
say.
Them to them, they're nobodies, just like I'm a nobody to them. At the end of the day, they come to my social media to talk their shit. They don't know me. They can go fuck themselves at the end of the day. Anybody that knows me from my very first tournament,
Mhm.
my first tournament, I never missed weight. I always was under 205. I was always championship weight. How many titles do I have in the local scene? And I always made weight. Always made weight. There were times even opponents didn't make weight, and I would be like, shh, it's okay. Let them fight so we can fight for this belt. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, when I rehydrate, we're going to be the same weight anyways. So when you really think about it, it's like I don't really give them the attention. I just speak to my fans when I post. All the people are talking shit, talking their shit, saying, did I even try?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I was 240 when I went to see my physician on Friday before I left out that Tuesday, and I got down to 218. They can go fuck themselves if they don't believe I tried. Even the broadcaster, DC, Michael Bigsby, they were all talking this shit. Didn't I try? Y'all are some fucking jokers. From Contender Series, y'all been talking shit about me, that I'm too big, I'm slow, that I don't have stamina. I prove you guys wrong, and y'all still have something to say. So to DC and Michael Bigsby, y'all could go fuck yourselves, to be honest. Other than that, it's like the people that jumped on ever since MMA Junkie said some dumb shit, he can go fuck himself too. That's disrespectful. Like at the end of the day, you're gonna sit here and say, "Oh, missed 12 pounds. Did he even try?" Yo, I tried. My body shut down. There's nothing I could do at that. I did the right thing by getting the UFC doctor up there, and he even let me know. Listen, if you didn't get me up here, you probably had at least a pound, maybe a pound and a half to give off before you would have been in the hospital with IVs. There wouldn't have been no fight. I would have did all that shit for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I forfeited 40% of my purse for the fight that happened at heavyweight. I was begging. I was willing to give up 50%. So they offered 40% first, and he took it. So I'm like, fuck it, let's go. And then from there, it was just like, just the bullshit that happened after.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone saying that I tried, did he even try to make weight? Why is he walking so big? Yo, listen, I was sick. I didn't train for almost half a month. And when I did start training, I started to lose the weight because usually after a fight, I ain't gonna lie, I usually go back to like 220, 225, and then I'll enjoy myself for a good month because I know that I don't need to fight for a while. And then I'll get into like the 240s, almost 250s. When I took the fight, I'm like, yeah, I could grind this. A lot of y'all don't know, but my second Contender Series, I was 266. If y'all look at the Contender Series videos, I was huge when I went out there in Vegas to freaking do the Contender Series, the second one when I fought Cody Brundage. And when I got there, I made 207, and then they gave me that hour to cut that last pound. I made 206. It wasn't never a problem. I always make weight. This one time, I was still trying to fight to make weight. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting in a sauna for 20, 30 minutes, laying in a sauna blanket, and I'm not sweating. How much more torture should I go through for you guys to realize, like, yo, I'm not sweating. I'm not sweating. I'm running. I'm sprinting. I'm in the sauna suit. I just wasn't sweating. And that wasn't my fault. My body was like, fuck this. We're not going to give off nothing. We don't know what the fuck's going on. So it went into its mode. After I drank my fluids and everything, my body started to expel again,
Mm-hmm.
started releasing water. I was able to use the bathroom, all sorts of shit. I'm like, damn, maybe if I drank like 8 ounces of water or something, maybe it would have got my system flowing again or going again. So I'm gonna do some tricks and things while I'm off right now, like until another fight. I'm gonna fuck around with some things and see what kind of things I can deal with. But usually I walk 225 and I make 205 like nothing. So to everyone talking shit, they can go fuck themselves, and I'm gonna be as raw as possible. I'm myself. This isn't sugar coated shit. They gonna fuck themselves. They don't know me. 38 fights come total between wrestling, Naga, Muay Thai, MMA. I never missed weight. Always under or on the point in the UFC. Now, the first time I missed weight, they want to scroll me and say I missed the most weight in history. 12 pounds. Polo Costa missed twice by 20 pounds. Khabib missed weight how many times to where there were no fights? But they want to make an example out of me? Nah, fuck that. They can go fuck themselves for real.
How do you really feel?
That's exactly how I feel. Fuck them. Like, seriously. I got my true followers, my true fans. The rest of the people chiming in, they're just on the outside looking in. They just want to voice themselves, be heard, or say some stupid shit they
Mm-hmm.
don't know about. I guarantee you, my next fight, when I make 205, is gonna be back to, oh, he's on steroids. Does the UFC check him? You can't please these peons. They're fucking peons. Fucking call themselves MMA. Oh, I've been in the MMA world forever. I'm a follower. I'm a true fan. True fans don't knock fighters. Period. And the fact that I even respond to them,
Mm-hmm.
yo, that's a blessing to them. The fact that you get a chance to chip away at a professional fighter's head, go message DC, John Jones, freaking Holly Holmes, one of them. They're not going to respond to you. You know how I know? Because I've done it. I reached out to them to ask them questions, and they never responded to me. Now I'm in the fucking UFC itself. So it's like you sit here and waste your opportunity. And now I'm at a point where I see why they don't answer people. And now it's going to start to change. It's about to switch up. I'm not even going to respond to people. Those people fucked it up for everybody else.
Now, you said that it got to the point where you reached out for the UFC doctor to check you out. What prompted you to do that? Because other people wouldn't have, and they would have had severe consequences.
To be God honest, I felt weird.
Mm-hmm.
I felt weird. I never felt this weirdness before. And then I'm like, something's wrong. Because I could go in the sauna and 2 minutes later, I'm sweating.
Mm-hmm.
Not to sweat after sitting in there for 20 minutes. Not to sweat after going to sleep in a sauna blanket for 20 minutes, all geared up with fuck, what is it called? Damn, just had a blonde moment. Damn, I forgot what it's
the
called.
kick that you got? Is that what it was?
The cream that you put on your body.
There are a lot of creams that you put on your body.
Hold on, I got some right here. It's the thermogenic that you put on your body. It's called Sweet Sweat. That's what it's called. All that I had Sweet Sweat on. I had all kinds of things on, and it's like nothing was happening. Sweet Sweat, 130 to 180 degree temperature, no sweating. I covered myself till I was covered in the sauna blanket where my skin was on contact with the sauna blanket, no sweat. So I couldn't do nothing. Like the next step was for my body to shut down. Then there would have been no fight.
Mm-hmm.
Then what would they complain about?
That you were reckless.
Oh, you should never did this and that, and he tried this, and he should never have took the fight. Nobody was stepping up. Just like the day when I lost in April, I had to take that fight too because everybody was running from that opponent. The Dae Wong, I believe his name is, and I fought him right after COVID. I went 3 rounds with him, and look what he just did to somebody that was, I believe, undefeated. He knocked them out.
Mm-hmm.
What did that tell you? I went 3 rounds again after a situation as such. When I'm at my peak or I'm 100%, there's no stopping me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just facts. The 2 times I took my L's in the UFC were unprepared times. That's it. I was supposed to fight Menenfield, and I ended up having to fight a whole different opponent after having COVID for 2 weeks. And then after COVID, 3 days later, I'm on a plane to Las Vegas to fight. No training, nothing. I didn't get to train, do anything. And went 3 rounds with him. Then they say my stamina sucks. Then this fight, I take it on short notice, not even knowing I was going to fight in February. I just wanted to fight. Like, I know what it is, how many people are waiting to fight in the roster, and this was my opportunity. I wish it was a catch weight at 220 or a heavyweight or something, then okay, cool. But when you're dealing with employers and they ask you something, you're going to try your best to get there. And I did my best from 240 down to 218. I did my best, and I'm pretty sure I was more than 240. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. When they said that they were gonna keep the fight, but it was gonna be a heavyweight, how did you feel?
I cried. I fucking cried. Like I wanted the fight.
Yeah.
I went in the bathroom and cried. My eyes were so dry that they were burning. My eyes were burning. There weren't even tears that were coming down my eyes. It was just burning. Shit was crazy. Like, I was grateful that they took the 40%. I was grateful that they said, let's fight at heavyweight. I was just grateful.
Yeah. So, do you feel that, okay, we understand you didn't make weight and you weren't fighting the way you normally fight? Do you feel that just everything that was piling up leading to the fight impacted your performance, like your concentration?
Nah, that was on me. I don't know why I didn't let my hands go.
Hmm.
Everything else, the takedowns attempts and everything else, that was me. Just don't know why I wasn't throwing hands. I don't fucking know. I really don't know. I can't answer that. Every fight I'll throw hands and I'm
Hmm.
ready, but this one fight I don't know what the fuck it was. I just didn't throw hands. I was stuck. I don't know.
Because I've seen you when your local fights, and you've been fighting people that were tall like him, the reach like him, but you weren't fighting the way you fought before in a situation like that. So I wasn't sure if just everything that you were going through just was just too much pressure mentally to focus and engage more.
Possibly it could have been a number of things. I just don't know what the fuck it was. After watching the fight so many times, I'm like, why the fuck you not throwing hands? I was yelling at myself.
Yeah,
I'm like, throw your fucking hands, touch his body, do something.
yeah.
I just didn't throw hands. I just throwing kicks, threw hands a couple times, scored some takedowns, a submission attempt, like flying, jumping knees,
I
spinning
like that
kicks,
one.
like fuck, crazy, crazy.
So you were training and planning. What can we expect from you in the future after this fight? Like,
Any human being knows after a loss that I should have won or a learning situation, because
mhm,
I just learned my lesson there.
yeah,
Next time, just handle business how it's supposed to be handled. Like if you can't do it, just say you can't do it. I just don't want to sit on the back burner for a whole year because I
mhm,
couldn't take a fight, or I'm penalized because this guy's not serious about his thing and I'm on contract and I can't fight nowhere else. I gotta get them as they come. But moving forward, I already talked to my team. I talked to my manager. We have a game plan. Could be something light heavyweight,
mhm,
something heavyweight. Depends on the situation. More to come on that. But moving forward, you're gonna get the same nightmare you got that fought
mhm.
Alonzo Menenfield, that fought Fabio, that fought Alexa Kammer. You're gonna get that nightmare. Trust me when I tell you. That's who you're gonna get.
I'm just trying to like figure out because you had fighters that had that, that reach advantage. I'm wondering, like, I know you said that you looked at it and you weren't doing what you wanted to do. Like, what were you thinking you were doing it and your body just wasn't doing it? Or,
Yeah, I was throwing. I felt like I was throwing. I don't know. I'm telling you, I don't know. His reach wasn't shit. I fought people with longer reach than him,
well, that's what I
like
was trying to
Walter
figure out.
Howard. Walter
Mhm,
Howard, he fought the likes of Davis. He fought Davis in Bellator, things like that.
mhm,
Like I fought Howard. He was 6'5" and a half. Like I fought taller people than myself. Like at the end of the day, they and longer reach too.
mhm,
Menenfield had longer reach. Fabio had longer reach. Camera. I think everyone I fought have longer reach than me. Ron Marshall, Larry Perna, Sean Benincourt. Mind you, he's an
mhm,
Olympic hopeful. Like the list goes on. They all had longer reach than me. They're all taller than me. It, Reach was never a problem. Nothing wasn't a problem. I just didn't throw my hands.
mhm.
And when I was starting to throw, I was being successful. I was making a move. I was making him think twice before throwing. Then I just stood there like a dumbass. I don't know. I'm just being truthful.
You're too funny, dude. Like,
I'm being truthful. Like I was just standing there, like I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I was starstruck. There wasn't even people in the crowd. Shit. I
what about
don't
your
know.
twin that you found?
Yeah, man. The gorilla man, like Connonair, man, he's dope, man. Talking to him, everything was like chopping it up with him.
Yeah.
It's like literally my like a twin. The fact that he went from heavyweight to light heavyweight to middleweight, the only difference is I ain't making middleweight anytime soon. So that's the only difference. So you could say I went from super heavyweight to heavyweight to light heavyweight.
That's it.
That's it. It's stuck there.
That's
No
right.
more gas in the tank.
Yeah, you have to make sure that. I mean, and you have your nutritionist, you have your people that are watching you. Just figure out exactly how to make sure that when you're testing this out, that you said that you want to figure out what works for you, that you have them there, so you don't
Yeah,
cause harm to yourself. Keep pushing yourself, but have somebody there that's actually seeing what's happening and will make sure you don't cause any severe damage to yourself.
yeah. That's pretty much it. Just get my body fat down a little more. Cause I guess 12% is ideal.
Hmm.
And I used to walk around at between 6 and 7% body fat. Like I was always lean as hell. And it's like hard to maintain that because of the amount of foods I have to eat. And then the kind of food I have to eat got really expensive. So it's like,
Hmm.
damn, I got to eat 98% beef, 98% turkey, chicken, all this lean food, crazy greens and things that go with it, carbs. And it's like eating 5 to 6 times a day, every day. And then the cardio that came with it. Oh
Hmm.
man, that junk was crazy.
Now you mentioned cardio. How was your stamina? How was your cardio when you were in the fight? Because I know viewing the fight, people were commenting like, "Oh,
I
is it
wasn't
hard
tired. Show me a light heavyweight that can get that much air time in the third round just before the round ends. Look at that. I sprinted up like nothing. I wasn't tired. At least I wasn't pulling the trigger, man. I don't
to?"
know. I guess I don't know. None of my fights I get tired. Only one fight I'll admit, and that was the Dang Woos fight. I had COVID, and after recovering for it, I didn't know what it would do. It just made me
Hmm.
feel drained all the fucking time, even though I wasn't drained. You see, I went 3 rounds with him with a broken nose. He broke my nose the first minute of the fight, and I still finished the 15 minutes.
Hmm.
Still pushed the pace. I still pushed him, but he just had a little more. He had a lot of. He was on me most of the time, you know.
Yeah.
He was like, it's okay. Those takedowns he got me with, no stand. I was tearing that front leg up. I was throwing. I was
Hmm.
keeping him at bay, and he just took me down. He's like, fuck this. He told me when he messaged me, he said that my front kick is faster than his jab hand. Yet people were like that he was faster than me. He was like, the second he started to throw his jab, I already launched off a kick and was ready to
Hmm.
react. So that's the only fight where I didn't get tired. I just felt tired, but I kept going. Clearly, y'all see me going until the very end.
Hmm.
I don't get tired of my fights. I may look it, but I don't. People don't realize I start slow and start picking up the pace.
Hmm.
And that's a problem. My coach wants me to start as if I'm already in the third round.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure that out. That's a little mental thing for me. So I got to figure out how to put that into play because
Yeah.
I can go rounds like sparring on Tuesday, Thursdays. We go what 15, 20 rounds, and it's just all striking three. It's like 10 3-minute rounds we go. So it's like 10 rounds, 3 minutes each, striking with a different human each time, all shapes and sizes, different speeds, reaches and stuff. And I hold my own. People be like, "Well, you're not tired?" I'm like, "Nah, I can go 5 more rounds if y'all want."
Hmm.
That's just it. I've been training myself since the amateur days for
Yeah.
this.
I remember, and that's one of the first things that we spoke about. Is it's your fight, it's your game. Don't, because you like to start slow and take your time. That was
Yeah, I
one of
don't
our
know.
first conversations. No,
Yeah, I don't know
no,
what
no.
I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still in that mindset. Like, damn, I trained this long for a couple seconds of a fight. Like when I knock people out, like all amateur, I was doing that, finishing dudes in the first round, not being able to display my abilities, and then everybody started questioning my gas tank. First contender series, I went 3 rounds and finished him at the end. Second contender series, I got into some danger and finished him. My first fight went 3 rounds with a guy they were bigging up. He trains with the world champ, Shapey, blah, blah, blah. I finished. I didn't finish him. I could
Hmm.
have, and I didn't because I didn't get just a little more time on the clock. I would have got that Americana, but the time ran out. I beat him in the 3 rounds. Then I had to fight Dae Wong, and I went 3 rounds with him and lost by decision. And I felt even then that was a victory for me
Hmm.
because I've got to fight an opponent I had no idea about nothing after being sick. And then Fabio, he was a
Hmm.
boxer. Everybody was saying he was gonna knock me out. And then Alonzo Menenfield, they told me he is just wrestling and he watches NCAA wrestling and his reach and all that. And
Hmm.
I dropped him in every round. I dropped him in every round to a point where he just wanted to clinch me.
Hmm.
And then this last fight, I showed that I could keep going.
Hmm.
Durability. He didn't touch my face. He caught me with a head kick that was with his toes. They didn't do shit. And then he hit me with an elbow and
Yep.
maybe a couple punches. But I ain't gonna lie, them toe stomps was hurting, man. Those are what really hurt, them toe stomps. And that was really it. That's really it. I ain't leave with nothing. I'm still myself.
Yeah. Before you used to say that you didn't like studying your opponents. Are you changing that now or no?
No, still the same game plan. My coach's job. That's not my job. My job is to train and to follow what he's telling me to do. Now, if I follow what he told me to do every time I went to the stool, Will, let your fucking hands go. Then I would have won. But I didn't let him go. So you don't need to study my opponents. I feel like when you study your opponents, you sometimes train yourself to lose because you start looking for
Hmm.
something that they do, and then they don't do it, and they do something different.
Hmm. Sounds
So
so. There seems to be no win for anybody as far as whether you do something right or you do something wrong. It's never good enough for them.
exactly, you will always be criticized. When I make weight, I'm on steroids. When I miss weight, I'm a fat fuck, and I didn't try. When I win a fight, I'm tired. When I don't win a fight, oh, he just didn't have it in him. It's
Yeah.
like, yo, you can't please anyone. And I'm at that point now where I just don't care.
Hmm.
If you're a fan, you're a fan. And if you want to talk shit, talk shit. I don't care no more. Like it is what it is. It literally is what it is. The amount of times you saw us tested me, if I was doing anything, I would have been got snapped. They come out of nowhere. I'd be dead sleep and they pop up. I'm like, damn, where y'all come from? Yeah, we just unexpectedly, we're not able to call you. We just show up. I'm like, sheesh. It's from that down to this. And I'm like, yo, but
Living the dream.
next fight is gonna be crazy.
Hmm.
My parents is gonna be different.
Yeah.
My arsenal of weapons is gonna be different. Everything's gonna be different. Just I'm about to fine tune everything. Watch, you'll see.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Before we conclude with this interview, is there anything that you would like to share with the fans, with anybody?
All I gotta do is for my fans, loved ones, family. I just want to apologize that I missed weight. That's not me. I want to apologize for that fight. That fight wasn't me. I don't know who the hell that was. Sometimes I try to call the UFC like, who is this guy? Because that ain't me. It looks like he has my body, but that's really it, man. Just an apology that I fucked up, and I'm gonna do better next time.
We know you will. You're gonna be the real nightmare when we see you in the cage again.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
definitely.